Hey folks, same again. 50 seconds to begin with. You're not live.
Andy, you can you please?
Down there, Andy as well.
Stand here then. Yeah.
Well, Andy here. Thanks for that.
You put down there, please, Andy. Just a few more, please, guys.
The last one is here, Andy, please.
Terrific. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Sum up your week then.
Yeah, it's been one full of emotion, I think. Obviously incredible high emotions of, Saturday and Sunday and everything that went along with it, and, overwhelming as well. But, the last couple of days I've just been focused on this game tomorrow, so I'll be looking forward to just, focusing on football again.
How tough has that been to get back in after all the celebrations, to get right back into the fold here?
In all honesty, it's not been hard at all. We came back Wednesday and found out we had a double session, so that was pretty easy to to get focused back on football. So Wednesday morning session was great, and I loved it, just being back out there and back with the lads. So it's been relatively easy, to be honest, but the lads and all the staff around here has made it a lot easier.
I know we always bore you about asking about your journey and whatnot, but you walk back into Hampden Park today, a place you started playing football at, you used to work at, you used to have to go on the lunch run for everyone in the office. Now you walk back in as a European champion. How do you try and sum that up?
If I'm honest, I don't. I think that's enough in the past now that I don't really. I don't think about it. I think you've known me long enough that I'm one to look forward, and I've never really looked back, and now I need to look forward to hopefully having more of the feelings that I did on Saturday. So we look as if, of course, it's an incredible feeling coming back to where it all started and seeing where I've came. But I generally don't think about when I used to come in here to work anymore, because that's far enough in the in the past, and now I feel as if I am at one of the best clubs in Europe, and I'm doing pretty well, winning the Champions League. So I just focus on that and trying to produce more moments that I did on Saturday.
In San Marino after the game, you said Scotland were a bit at a low ebb, but you look at your success recently, the likes of McLean, McGinn getting promotion, the Celtic guys winning the treble. Is it a squad that is actually full of confidence despite what happened last time out?
I think so. I think you can feel a different feel around the camp, and that's what winning trophies and winning games and stuff can do to you. A lot of us had a good end to the season. Like you said, the two boys getting promoted from the Championship, I know how that feels, and I know the pressure that they would have been under to produce that, and the relief of that. So they'll be full of confidence. The Celtic lads will be full of confidence, and even likes of John Souttar that played at Hearts, I thought he was magnificent in the cup final, and of course he'll be disappointed, but they've all had a really strong end to the season, and of course me as well. So I hope that we'll be full of confidence tomorrow. But it's all about showing that, and it's all about trying to put on a performance that relates to the work that we've put in this week. But we know how hard it's going to be. But we're confident that we can hopefully do that, and that'll be enough for the 3 points.
What's the new manager been like?
He's been unbelievable, if I'm being honest. I've never came across him before, but I've been very impressed with him. The conversations I've had with him and the training that he's put on has been, second to none. And the lads have really taken to it, and that's what we needed. And I hope he's happy with the week's training that we've gave him. But now it's about trying to get his tenure off to a good start, and the only way we can do that is win.
Has the training itself been very different, or is it just the manner in which he goes about things?
I think it's all been very different. You get that with different people, but the training he's put on has been very good, very organised. His two assistants have been great, so it's been very good so far. Of course, he's tried to cram a lot into a week, which is only natural, but over the next couple of months, that's when, hopefully we can really be judged. But we know we'll be judged on results and performances, and we need to try and produce that when, we're still learning the way he wants us to play. Can
you give us a bit more insight into what makes the training different? Is it more high tempo? Is it compared to the previous regimes? I think it's a bit of both. Obviously a wee bit more high tempo at the start of the week when, we need probably, energy in our legs and things like that. And then, we've been focusing a lot on tactics. So, but of course, like I said, it's very hard for him to get everything across in a short space of time. But I think the lads have, took enough on board that we should be able to implement what he wants us to do. Probably not to the complete standard that he wants us to, but we'll definitely try our best. And like I said, hopefully that's enough to get us the results. And then, as the months go by, and the more that we start training together and start, learning completely what he wants from us, then, I'm sure this nation will be a lot better. He revealed that you received a warm round of applause from the players when you came in to dinner, when you joined up the squad. Just kind of relive that moment for us. How nice was that? How special was that? Yeah, it was great. I'm not one that really wants to be the centre of attention, so I was quite quickly trying to find my seat. But it was obviously nice to be clapped in by your fellow teammates and all the staff. It was a special moment for me, and quite emotional to see that as well. But then I just went round all the lads and gave them a kind of hug. So it was a lovely welcome to come back to, and that made it easier to get prepared for the double session the next day.
Andy, you spoke of the club's success of all the players in the squad coming the end of the season. How desperate are you guys to replicate that with the national team?
Yeah, look, we want to bring success to this nation as well. And once you get a feeling for winning trophies and going far in tournaments with your club, then you want to try and replicate that with your country. Us qualifying for a tournament would be a huge step in that direction, but we know how hard it's going to be, and we know what we need to do to try and achieve that. So, I can't tell you how we'll feel until we do it. So, hopefully you're asking me that next year when we have completed that. But like I says, we're a work in progress, and it's all about trying to do that quickly, because now we've started the campaign, we've not got time to waste.
Obviously, lifting that European trophy would be up there with the pinnacle of your career. But as a Scotland captain, to lead your nation to a major final for the first time in over 2 decades, I mean, where would that sit for you?
I'll hopefully tell you after the first game that I do it, if I'm honest. I think I just said up there, winning the Champions League, we knew how that would feel, but when you actually win it, the feelings that you get are far better than what I could ever imagine. So sitting here when it's not happened, I can say that it would be a very proud moment and be up there with my biggest achievements to date. But I'll be in a better position to ask that when hopefully when that happens, and I'll know how emotional and how proud I was at that moment. But just now I can only think about that and keep that thought in my head to drive us forward.
How much pressure are on the players for this Cyprus game, with the first 2 games in mind? Obviously, disappointing result in Kazakhstan and the win over San Marino. How much pressure's on this one? It's all about. I think it's all about us focusing on the pressure that we put on ourselves. We can't think too much about everything else. We put pressure on every person that sits next to us in that changing room, and the manager does that as well. So it's all about dealing with the pressure of all of us that we want to be successful. Of course, we know. Look, the fans haven't showed up in the last couple of games, which is completely understandable. So it's all about us trying to put on a performance that can hopefully make a step in bringing them all back, because a full Hampden makes a huge difference and it has a home advantage. But unfortunately, the last couple of games we've kind of lost that, and I can understand why, but it's up to us now to try and get the fans back in Hampden.
Andy, many people expect Scotland just to turn up and win quite easily tomorrow night, but in football it's not that simple, is it?
No, and I think if anyone has watched Cyprus, I think you would be daft to think that. I think they're a good nation. The games they've played have been tight. I think Belgium ended up being comfortable against them, but I think they scored maybe 2 or 3 quite late goals. So look, we know how hard this is going to be, but we believe that if we show up to 100% and we do the things that we've worked on this week, then we can win the game, and that's the confidence that we'll take into it. And of course we believe we can win the game, but it's all about showing them respect, which we do, because we've watched the clips and we know that they can cause us problems, and it's all about dealing with their problems and then causing problems of our own. So hopefully you'll see that tomorrow night.
And the manager said that he's impressed with the quality in the Scotland squad. There's real competition for places to get into that starting 11, isn't there, Andy? And that can only bring out the best in everybody.
Yeah, like I said, look, when I look round that squad, it's a squad full of talent. It's a squad, full of people playing at a very good level and putting in very good performances for their club team. And there's competition all over the park. So, of course, the manager's got the tough job of kind of picking that team, but it's a good headache to have, in my opinion. And when he thinks there's maybe 2 people for each position, then that's good for the nation, and we hope to keep that going, and we want to keep competitive. And all the lads that have showed up, have been brilliant, and we're all fighting to start. So we'll wait and see what the manager picks, but I'm sure the team that he puts out will be the best in his opinion. But whatever happens, we'll have a very strong bench as well.
Did you speak to Kenny Dalglish about Steve Clarke? I know they worked together at Liverpool.
Yeah, I spoke to him. Before he got the job, and I think Kenny had spoke to the gaffer. So Kenny had just said what he was like at Liverpool, and to be fair, he's been pretty accurate in terms of the way he goes about his business, and the way he'll set us up and stuff like that. So it was good to get that kind of insight before I'd maybe spoke to him. So obviously Kenny worked with him very closely, and he'll know him better than anyone.
Positivity with Shelley Kerr's team over in France at the World Cup, is that an inspiration to you guys in the men's A squad, that what can be achieved?
Yeah, of course it is. I think everyone in Scotland should be really looking at the women's team just now. An incredible number showed up for their friendly. Obviously, I was a bit busy, but I was buzzing for them to see that. That many had kind of showed up, and I know they're all excited just to get the game started. I spoke to Rachel Corsey this morning, and the preparations are going well, but I think she's just wanting to get out there, and she's wanting to lead her team out. So, incredible what the women are doing, and they've put kind of Scottish women's football in particular on the map, and fair play to them. And I think everyone now of all ages wants to kind of replicate that feeling of going to big tournaments, whether it's football or whatever sport.
What did you say to her in terms of giving her any advice or anything like that? Did she ask for anything? Yeah, no, she was just congratulating me for obviously winning the Champions League. But I kind of said, look, it's not, that's in the past. It's not. But you focus on leading your country out, because there's no bigger honour than that, and to do that in a big tournament like she's going to do is incredible. And all the girls have been second to none in what they've done, and I'm sure they're all just buzzing to get that started. So good luck to them, and I hope all the country gets behind them, like they get behind us. So fingers crossed they have a good tournament, and I'll be watching closely.
Good luck. Thank you, everyone.
Very much.